There was a recent tweet from President Trump saying that he's going to lower the auto insurance rate or the insurance rates by 50%. And we're going to go over some quick scenarios and kind of explain how it's possible or impossible for this to happen. The first thing you got to know is this is a tweet, not an actual fact. So they think he said 73%. It has increased over the last year, couple years. And that's just, from everything I know, is not correct. Yeah, it has increased about 16% from 2022 to 2023. My personal opinion, it's like the weather, right? It says 16, but it feels like 25, right? It's probably a 20 to 30% increase with some companies, but not all companies. So you got to factor all of that in across 50 states. 2023 to 2024, the full numbers aren't out, but in all honesty, I think it went up 20% in my opinion, which means it probably went up 12% because it feels like 20%, but it's actually probably 10%. So we're saying 30 to 35% increase from the last 3 to 5 years. Let's start by fixing that scenario. Now, obviously, I don't have the answers to what he's looking at, so whatever he's looking at may trump what I'm looking at, literally, and have power over that. But in my experience over all the videos and the research that I've done, I've not seen anyone go up 73% over the last 5 years. I don't know of a company that has. Now, there are a few that are starting to do that where the renewals are hitting twice, where if you, in the middle of a policy term, hit and you had an increase right after you joined them, but then there was another increase right at the very end, so then you're seeing a double hit. And I've had some companies, for some people, have gone up 100%, 120%, but it wasn't just because it wasn't a fit for that person. We were able to take them, move them over to a different company that wanted that type of business more than this company, and that ended up bringing it down to, honestly, I think it saved them money. It was cheaper going from 100 and something percent to what they were paying. Let's just say they were paying $1,000. We got them down to $950, right? So in the end, they were happy. They ended up shifting to the right place. But let's talk about how difficult it is to make changes in the insurance industry. Insurance is not regulated by one entity. Insurance is each state individually. Your Florida policy is based on your commissioner there, and your Michigan policy is based on that. Tennessee is based on their governor and their commissioner, and your states in Georgia and all of the different states. That's why you see states like California, they have a way harder time because they're way tougher in that state. If you want an example, they're doing what Trump is saying he's going to do, and they're trying to hold the insurance companies back. But look at the result. In California, 7, 10, 15 companies have pulled out of the state completely. They're losing home insurance from like Farmers, from State Farm. I believe even Progressive, I think, stops doing insurance there. I haven't followed it as well as I should, but in general, there's a ton of companies that have A, gone insolvent, which means bankrupt, and B, most of your major players aren't playing anymore. They're like, we're not messing with it. Same thing for Florida. They're very tight and they're fighting the agencies to keep the business there. But that's the result of making those cuts, saying, no, you can't increase 16% or 20% to make your margin. You've got to just suck it up and take the hit. The unfortunate part is they're insolvent. The ones that are going insolvent is because they can't take the hit. So these larger companies are realizing that, and they're pulling out of the states or pausing, so to speak. There's no guarantee of when they'll come back. In general, the ability to write policies there. So that's the result that I'm seeing. So I find it a little difficult to see where Trump is going to make those changes. On top of it, he's got a lot of work to do if he gets elected as president, that he's got a ton of stuff to work on. Fighting 50 different commissioners for the ability to change these rules and laws. Don't get me wrong, I actually dream of a day where insurance is just one number, everyone pays the same, we all honestly kind of share the cost. It's impossible. I don't see a way of that ever happening where the rates kind of just fluctuate within a certain range. They can't go up so much, they can't go down so much, and we just are comfortable, right? So that's like kind of the dream, and I get putting a tweet out that we're gonna fix that. One, I think it probably only went up about 36. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say 40% over the last 5 years. And two, fixing it, I just don't see it possible, at least not in his term of presidency. He might be able to put some steps in place that can fix that. The problem that you're going to run into is all of the little guys that need to grow are now capped. It's like growing a business. When you're new, unless you have funds coming in or investments and you're trying to grow, there's only so much you can do because you can't pay for big marketing. You can't do all of the things that you would normally be able to afford until you're an established company. Yes, the established companies probably will survive, or at least they'll say, hey, government, you made us do this. Now help bail us out because we can't pay these claims. Or B, now you've got the part where the smaller agency is not going to survive. They're just going to crumble, and it's going to go almost to a monopoly. Your big guys will stay big until there's 5 of them left, and we'll have 5 choices. Good, bad, I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'm Mark with Think Insurance. I'll see you soon.